Hello everyone! Today we're gonna talk about a topic that I wanted to talk about for a long time. Especially the past videos where I talked about pulse in a shotgun have made me think about this a lot more. I've seen so many comments that claim C4 requires no skill, shotguns require no skill, pulse requires no skill. What do you consider skill in Rainbow Six Siege? As always, this is my very own opinion on it. I'm not gonna tell you what to think, you make up your own mind, but I'm gonna speak for myself here. Rainbow Six Siege is considered a tactics shooter, with a focus on, you guessed it, tactics. The entire game, every single map is built around destruction. Destruction as I have never seen it in any other video game. And this is what makes this game so special. You can open up line of sights. You can make kill holes. You can make holes into walls to jump through. You can basically tear apart the entire map. And this is what makes this game so much different compared to all the other games out there. And in my opinion, so much better. And this is pretty much a new thing. We haven't had the technology to make these kind of games happen before. And I think this is the exact reason why we need to have this discussion right now. There's obviously been other shooters out there before. The biggest names are Counter-Strike, Call of Duty and Battlefield. Call of Duty and Counter-Strike have no destruction whatsoever, and Battlefield only has it to a minor degree. To actually blow up a wall in that game, you need explosives or a tank. Besides, Battlefield is on a much larger scale. I am not a pro player in any of those games, but I did play all of them though. And anyone can tell you that these three games are focused around shooting. Even though I gotta admit, Counter-Strike can be much more tactical than that. A lot of the players that recently played those three games have actually started to pick up Rainbow Six Siege, and are very often, let's say, not extremely tactical. There's a lot of running and gunning going on. It takes a while for people to adapt to the entire destruction thing. Some eventually get used to it, others don't. I got used to that rather quickly since I haven't played shooters in a long while before I started picking up Siege. And in the beginning my aim was lackluster. So I was like, hey, I'm not that good at aiming, so why should I take a 1v1 firefight if I can just outplay them? That was about a week into the game, and that completely changed my perception. I suddenly started seeing opportunities where others didn't. I came up with funny strategies, where I put so many holes into a wall that it looked like a Swiss cheese, and then just aimed through one of those. And at one point I got killed by a C4 through a wall, so I tried to use that tactic as well. I noticed that you can even play together with your team to get one of those kills off, and that feels really satisfying. I saw the opportunity to play this game very efficient. I got more and more cheesy kills and I started to get really satisfied with my gameplay. Of course, over time I also improved my aim and started getting more kills the quote-unquote regular way. But that didn't keep me from doing these fun kills every now and then. By now, I would consider myself being pretty good at aiming actually. And the aiming part is what most people would consider skill. Only the aiming and nothing else. And this is what annoys me big time. In my book, skill is not just aiming. It contains map knowledge, proper use of gadgets, communicating with your team, setting up traps, setting up flanks, generally outplaying your enemy, the entire intelligence part of the game. But according to a lot of people, intelligence doesn't require skill. I feel like a lot of people that are getting outplayed claim that some weapon, tactic, operator in the game doesn't require any skill, just so they can tell themselves, this guy isn't better than me, I'm the better player, he's just using an unfair tactic and is lucky. This is a very human thing. People do not want to admit their own mistakes. This is not just true in video games, this applies to real life as well. And I feel like everyone should accept their mistakes and stand up for them. But that's apparently not how it works for most people, because they're perfect, they don't ever make mistakes. And this gives them an easy way out. That is also the reason for a lot of accusations. But back to the main topic, apparently it's only fair if you have a 1v1 firefight against someone else. But this is not what this game is about, it's about tactics. Tactics on both the attacking and the defending side. But I feel like not only, but especially on attack, tactics other than running and shooting are not very prevalent. What I see most is people not paying attention to sound. When I hear Velcro ripping in the background, the first thing I do is run. While when I spectate others, they don't seem to give a shit about it. And after they get blown into a million pieces, they complain that nitro cells are OP and require no skill. And then there's those people that complain about getting blown up through a wall with no counterplay. If you take a close look into your inventory, you might notice a drone inside there. You can use that to actually scout out where you're going before you go there. There's a few very common C4 spots that you can just avoid, like the one side entrance on Consulate, or the top of the staircase near the dorms in Oregon. And I didn't complain that I was killed unfairly. No, they simply outplayed me. In both these scenarios, I could have used my drone and seen it coming. or just avoided the spots altogether. In some of these places you can even hear the C4 ticking. But there's more things that people complain that require no skill. Pulse is a great example. Especially now after the nerf, you can hear him put away the scanner further than he can reach with it. That gives you a lot of room to react to what's about to happen. Spawn peeking is another thing. The only reason that you get spawn peeked is because you didn't pay attention when the game started. There's always multiple ways out of the spawn. You don't even need to run out right away. And you can also expect them to spawn peek and counter peek. I was one of the people that complained about spawn peeking, but as soon as I started counter peeking, I realized that it's actually not unfair at all. Maybe you even know the exact window they are sitting on. You know where to look at, but they have to observe an entire area. So other than the surprise you are getting shot at, you should have the advantage in general. There's also always been a cry out for shotguns. Did you ever compare what would have happened if the same guy would have attacked you with an assault rifle or an SMG? There is one-shot headshots in this game. You have at least the same kill potential with any other gun in the game. And then there's those people that complain, oh, you don't need to properly aim with a shotgun. Yes, I agree, you need to aim less, but not like most people claim it to be. If you don't properly aim for the body, you deal close to no damage. And if you can aim for the body with a normal assault rifle, you get the same result. The main difference here is that the shotgun kills a bit faster, but only if you are close range. As soon as you step out of their effective range, they are absolutely useless against you. You can even hipfire spray, and if the first few bullets hit the head, you've got the same result. Besides, you have infinite range. The amount of people that just run into shotguns with ACOGs on their assault rifles is absolutely uncanny. This is where skill shows. A skilled player does not run into a shotgun like that. A skilled player uses the environment. A skilled player opens up some walls. He opens up some longer lines of sight. Or maybe even tries to flank the shotgunner, while the shotgunner tries to close the gap as much as possible. I just can't comprehend how people can still claim shotguns OP even after the nerf. But those were just a few examples of how people feel that the game is unfair towards them. Because they want the shooter experience. They want to shoot people in a 1v1 situation. But this is not what this game is about, and this is not where the game shines. Don't get me wrong, it has really good shooting mechanics. Information and intelligence is the main key component. I cannot tell this often enough. It is not just about how good you are at the shooting part. It is about how clever you are, how you can outsmart your enemy, and how you can use your cheesy tactics to get some really cool kills. Running and gunning and rushing is a tactic too. If you want to do that, go ahead. I'm not gonna tell you what to do. But if you don't play around what's happening around you, and you then complain that everyone else is unskilled, then sorry to tell you, mate, but you're in the wrong game. You might want to head back into Call of Duty or Battlefield, where there's none of those unskilled noob tactics. I'll leave you on the note that you might want to reconsider how you approach the game, and that you might want to start actually using your headset, listen to sounds, and communicate with your team. Until next time, see ya!